All right, so let me start off. I mean, you all know we've had I talked about it at the press conference a week ago, and with the passing of Matt Turpin, his wife Coral, and our guys came up with the idea of these shirts and pass them around the league. I want to really thank Daniel Jeremiah, Rich Eisen, ESPN for all of them being involved, all the teams across the league. It was a pretty special moment for them. It's hard. It's really hard. We got great people in this league, great people in this organization, but around this league who, look, we all compete against each other, but we have great respect. And we also have great perspective on what we do. And our families sometimes have to sacrifice with what we do. And when something like this happens, to watch everybody, the support and care and empathy, it's humbling. And it's it sucks sometimes that it takes a tragedy to bring everybody together. We should care for people all the time. So, but I'm very grateful and thankful for all those who helped and were a part of this. It was a very, very, very special day in that regard. It was very emotional, and I'm not one to hide it very well. All right, on to the draft. Good day for us. We were able to move back, pick up another pick, which allowed us to kind of do some things that we wanted to do. But excited about the guys we got. Still working on undrafted free agency chat, so you don't need to ask.
Cross that off my list.
Yep, fire away.
What led to the decision to draft Ryan Leonard, and what do you think he'll bring to your quarterback room?
Yeah, I'll let Shane talk about it. But when you're at that point in the draft, we liked Riley. And we've been following him since, we follow all these guys for their whole careers. So, we've been following him from Duke. Then he goes to Notre Dame and has a lot of success. He'd been training with Phillip Rivers, so of course that is a definite connection. But good to get him. He's a good player, good athlete. We think he's got some upside. He'll come in and compete. Shane, anything you want to say on him?
I mean, Chris pretty much hit it. I just think the athletic ability that he has at the quarterback position, what he was able to do at Notre Dame this year, leading him to a national championship, speaks volume of the player and the competitor that he is. So just to add that depth in that room is big.
Shane, you really were able to help a lot of areas. Did the board not let you weak side linebacker? Was it just not there?
Yeah, it just didn't work out. We got we drafted JC a year ago, who we really like. We thought when he played last year was really good. And we got some other guys on the roster we really like. So we think we will be okay in that area. Now, you got to understand that Lou is a little different than what we've done in the past, where we had a Mike, Will, and a Sam. Okay, now we're just playing with a Mike and a Will. All right, so not as many guys are as needed as in the past.
So you mentioned yesterday the secondary will reinforce.
That's correct. And we'll play some dime coverage. We took Hunter in the 7th, who reminds me a lot of Daniel Sorensen, who we had in Kansas City, who was a really good player for us. And we think he's going to be able to play multiple roles.
So I think he's announced as a linebacker, but is it safety and linebacker? Or?
Yeah, he'll play. Yeah, I mean, you're going to see corners playing some dime roles and inside. Lou's pretty creative with what he's going to do. We listed him as a linebacker. He'll play a little bit of both.
Shane, DJ Giddens, a lot of times with running backs kind of have the pass catching tag attached to their name. They're smaller. DJ's not. How good is it to get size and that receiving ability in the same player?
I think it's huge. Just the production that he's had the last couple of years there, it's been impressive to watch. The vision, the contact balance, the way he runs. He's a 4.43 guy, but they can catch the ball out of the backfield is big for our team as well. So it's a good get.
Shane, you're never going to be one to make excuses. How bad did this offense need a guy like Tyler Warren?
he's a guy, that can do it all. I mean, you guys know that. He can catch, he can run, he can throw. I mean, shit, we might play him on defense. I don't know. The thing that's crazy, they talk about the Riggins, him growing up watching him. I mean, that's how he freaking plays. When he's got the ball in his hands, this guy's physical, run after catch. He'll lay the wood on you. He'll hurt you. It's going to bring a lot to our football team for sure.
How does his presence directly impact the quarterback?
It's huge. I mean, you got a target that big with that size. He plays above the rim. You know what I mean? Sometimes when guys are on him, he's still open. I mean, I know when we were at the Chargers, just an example. I'm not saying we're here yet, but we had a Gates rule. It was like, hey, you got him one-on-one, you throw him the dang ball.
Right.
So obviously it'll be exciting to see when he gets in here and see him compete. It'll be fun.
Is it important for Tyler that he can play in line? So if you need to be in 11 personnel, you can still have that element.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's an inline. He can block. Like I said, he can do it all. You know what I mean? You can split him out wide. They throw him middle screens. Just get the ball in his hands. However he can.
Shane, you don't see a lot of tackles as big as Jalen Travis. What kind of jumped out to you about his game?
I think the physical ability that he brings, he's light on his feet for a big guy. I think he ran at 5'1", so at that size, to run and move like that, it'll be good, for the room.
Do you see it, adding him to the tackle spot, could that open anything up for Mac Gonzalez to play guard? Or have you thought about that yet?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had those discussions, and so we'll work through that.
Chris, with Tim Smith, not a lot of flash there, but he's been productive on tape. What do you guys see with him? And is he going to be a backup to Grover? Or?
Yeah, so we think he can play the 1 and the 3. One of the good things was our coaches had him at the Senior Bowl. So they got a live exposure to one, coaching him, for the entire week, and then kind of the personality, who he was, and then what his talent level is. And so we're excited to get him. I mean, I could feel our defensive staff around the 5th round start circling, and because they were pretty driven to get Tim as we were. So we think he's got a lot of upside.
Chris, DJ, this was supposed to be such a deep running back class. It's a 5th round pick, but is the talent level maybe higher than that?
We think he's pretty talented. Remember, we took Marlon. Remember the year Marlon? You had Marlon Mack, who was excellent. Aaron Jones that year. It's a very similar kind of draft where some guys kind of fell, and then it comes down to a lot of times it's flavor. It really is. What do you want? What are you looking for? Look, I'm a big DJ fan. I think he is a really talented young man, and I think he's got a chance to help us in a lot of different ways.
Chris, you talked about how the hand injury, he felt held him back as a pass protector. You feel like there's just parts of his game that there's more to unleash now that he's a little healthier?
I think any running back coming into our league, the hardest thing for them is pass protection. It's just, all of them have to learn. There's very few. I will say this, I thought Henderson at Ohio State might have been as good a pass protection back as I've seen come out of college. But most of them, they're just not asked to do it at the level we are asking our guys to do it, especially with the size of the men they have to block that are coming at them. So, yeah, there's no question. That's something he's got to work on, but he'll be good at it. I mean, I have a lot of faith in our staff, and this kid will work at it and be good at it.
Shane, relatedly with Warren, a lot of guys say, I'll step up and I'll do the blocking and all that, but he actually seems like he embraces it, loves it.
There's no doubt. I think, like I said, the biggest thing when I watch this tape, the toughness that he plays with is undeniable. It's off the charts. So he's a selfless player. I mean, you guys talked to him yesterday. He's going to do anything to help this football team.
To that point, what did you learn about just him as a person? He was saying, a little crazy that his dad sat him down and watched John Riggins win 8, but also he didn't run from Penn State when other guys were ahead of him.
Yeah, no doubt. It talks a lot about his character and the person that he is. He stuck through that deal at Penn State, and you see the production that he had this year. I think what Penn State was able to do with them and use them in the multiple facets that they did was impressive to watch. You know what I mean? So knowing that skill set, credit to Penn State and how they used him, it really jumped off the tape, the multiple ways they used him. So it'll be fun to have him.
Shane,
Chris kind of talked about the multiple ways on Thursday, but just what does that say about Tyler's football IQ that he was able to handle all that?
Yeah, no doubt. You can put a lot on his plate. You know what I mean? Put him in different roles. Obviously, you go into a game plan. You know, you got a whole week to prepare, but you know, obviously throughout the off season, throughout training camp, looking to do different things with them, and it says that, you know, he can handle them all.
Chris, the undrafted free agent class this year, I think I saw somebody say.
I just told Chap.
This is a
I just said it a second ago, like we're not done. Did you text him to say that? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Joe.
The guys coming out of because it's the year that the guys who had the COVID stuff are coming out, so it's kind of is there a deeper undrafted free agent class than normal?
No, I don't think so. No, I think it's about normal. Yeah. Sorry, I got on you.
Oh, you're good.
Chris, you didn't really get into a pre-draft, but was this a thinner draft, top of the first round type grade? How many guys did you have? Could you say?
I'm not going to tell you the number, but I would tell you it's not. I mean, and you really don't know until they play. Like, stars come from everywhere.
Right.
I mean, I think that's the one thing that, like, they come from everywhere. So, but we didn't feel the top part was as heavy as it had been. Like last year, we thought it was pretty loaded.
Mm-hmm.
And so every year's a little bit different. It just is. And it doesn't mean great players won't come out of it. That's the funny thing about the draft. I mean, and it's hard to, everybody tries to judge and control it, but there's no way. You got to just let it play out. You never know where a great player is going to come from.
All right.
Chris, we've talked a lot about individual players, but as a whole, what are your overall thoughts on everyone you brought in the last 3 days?
Yeah, excited. Well, look, I was in a bad mood this morning. One, because I haven't slept in a while. But yeah, I was trying to figure out, okay, you know, there's certain things we wanted to get done, and you know, that we had to be able to move back and get a little luck, which we were able to. But all productive, all really mature players and men with an element of toughness and maturity that we wanted to add. So excited about that. Thanks for asking. I didn't even see you back there. Like, I don't ever get questions from the back row. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna do everyone with Shane from now on. This is great. I can get a little break. He's got to come up with way more than I do. Like, I'm done. I'll see y'all in freaking August.
You'd be happy to have a few.
He's got it way harder job than mine.
You guys good?
Did you guys have any instances this year of like any position coaches like pounding the table for a guy that you actually want to play?
No, I mean, it's no. I mean, like, all of them want guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's normal. I mean, and I would want them. Like, you're excited when a coach is like beating on you, like, hey, I need to have this guy. But our guys are really respectful. Shane does a great job with the staff. They're respectful. The process is really, they're involved in the process, and we're communicating. So by the time we get to draft day, we have a good idea about what they think, and you know, the direction we want to go. Whether you go there or not depends on, you know, how the draft falls and how it goes.
One thing with no receivers, obviously, is that because of the work you've done leading up to this?
Yeah, we like our crew. We like our group. Yeah, we like our group. It's a good group.
Shane,
Last one here.
Chris talked about this yesterday, just with a lot of these guys being older, they've been playing for a little bit longer. How important is that to be able to make that immediate impact for some of these guys who maybe took COVID years and things like that, but maybe aren't super old, but are, you know, have had the experience playing?
Yeah, I think when you have more experience playing in college, obviously it helps coming into the next level. So excited to get those guys with that experience.